right, as planned, Justin Fields, part of the Steelers. It happened. I was like, I mean, once Kenny Pickett got traded, we should have seen that this was going to be the case, just because it freed up a spot, it was like for the Steelers to make this move, and there really wasn't any real that many places left to go that you know unless it got to the umpteenth hour, it would maybe the Vikings, Oakland. They would have had. I was like, I just think that this was really the only move for both teams. Not really for both teams. I like the Steelers could have found a way to get maybe a young quarterback in like the later round. Like they traded a 6th round pick for Field that apparently could turn to a 4th later on. Later on, if he plays a certain amount or whatever. And if you think about it, they was going to probably use a pick of that on a quarterback anyway once pick is gone. I don't. I don't think they would have used a 1st round pick on a quarterback. Second, maybe, I was like, even though I guess is everybody assumed that it's gonna be like maybe 6 quarterback that goes to the 1st round. I was like, somebody gonna slip to the 2nd. But I also don't see with somebody like the Steelers, after basically wasting your 1st round pick on Pickett, that maybe you just pick somebody later on, just like how you did with Mason Rudolph, that's 3rd round pick, see you can develop them and see what that ceiling is and see where you can go from there. I was like, this is like how they like with Mason Rudolph, like they did give him a chance a couple times to see how good he could be, and you sort of was like, okay, he's decent, he's all right. If you got he's a solid, like he could be a solid starter, but nothing special. So I was like, so the pick they gave, they were probably going to use that on a quarterback at some point anyway. So why not go with somebody who was already either has already played against NFL teams? You sort of already got an idea of his skill set. Whether that's running, like him being a runner more than he was in college, but also knowing what he did in college as well. But also knowing, okay, cool, we got a better understanding of his weaknesses and his strengths. You can also understand too that's like, okay, cool, we can look at the roster of the Bears versus our roster. I was like, they got like a brand new coach. They had a brand new GM. He was coming off a lame duck coach and all these other things where it's like we don't have any of that, so he don't have to at least worry about that kind of stuff. So the investment is a lot better. I'm like, we'll see if they pick up his 5th option. Cause I was like, they could just go with basically Russell on 1 year, Fields on 1 year. That way, hey, if it doesn't work, maybe if Russell doesn't do, if he doesn't like, cause Russell have to really like shit the bed in order for I think Fields to get on the field this year. That's not an injury. But the thing is, Russell I feel like plays competent enough to where you're never going to really pull him. So I was like, so Justin Field probably isn't going to get playing time unless Wilson gets hurt. So maybe you want to go with like a clean slate. Maybe that way, if like Russell just plays competent, you're like, I'd rather we just roll with Fields, and you don't pick up the 5th year option, but maybe you give him a contract almost like Love did. And I was like, and him having a chance to start in a place he already knows, he's more than likely to sign back with you. I was like, he's not gonna be high of like or sought after in the same way anyway. So you might as well stay with the Steelers that know you compared to like going out somewhere else and get a 1 year deal. But maybe if they do pick up his option, guess what? He's a year behind Russell Wilson. You let Russell Wilson get his career back going, and maybe somebody out there is willing to give him like say like a 2 year deal or something like that, though that the Steelers won't, where they rather just go with the young fella. To me, it's a win-win for the Steelers. I don't think there's no downside from what they gave up to Russell starting, to if that doesn't work, you got Fields right there to come right in. If there's an injury, what's better than Justin Fields? Or when we move on, with Russell, Fields is there. If we like Russell, we keep Russell, and we can let Fields. We can either flip Fields again for maybe a little something, or let him go. You know, it was like nothing sort of rehabilitates a quarterback than sitting on the bench a little bit and getting to learn or something like that. And also, you got to think about all like the quarterback carousel is just going to change over again. There's going to be somebody on the outs or a bunch of teams on the outs that's just going to be like, yo, I'm tired. They're not really as many old quarterbacks that are out there to really snag that like a changer. Like Kirk Cousins coming off Achilles, that tells you a lot about the market. That it's like we got to get him on come off with Achilles or him being a changer. Like everybody, either the franchise guy solidified on the team, or there's just a lot of journeyman quarterback. So that's why I say the Steelers is a win-win with that. And also, I was like, I think his upside to me is higher than Pickett's, just because, like, if you want to compare the two, I was like, Pickett can run, but he really didn't. When a lot of times he should, that maybe would have like gave him a little bit extra wiggle room. I was like, I think Justin Fields' arm is better than Pickett's. I think that I like Pickett. I mean, I was like, I think Justin Fields, which could also be a detriment, but the willingness to give your man the ball. I think we've seen that a lot where with like DJ Moore, he fed that dude because he's like, that's my best receiver. So guess what? Jordan Pickens gonna get the ball quite a bit. They still gonna need a receiver, like another two receiver, but we don't ever worry about that with the Steelers. Yeah, I was like, Pickett just like Fields holds onto the ball too long, but like his was like the setup more so, whereas like Pickett's was a fear of throwing the ball, and I was like and so I was like that one's sort of like basically about the same, like it's something that you don't like from either. But anyway, I think he's a better pickup for the Steelers with Pickett, and also y'all forget is that Pickett is old. He's an old quarterback still in his rookie contract just as much as Justin Fields is. Like, I think Pickett's already about to be like 26 or something like that, 26, 27, compared to Fields that's 25. So I was like, Pickett came into the league already old as well too. So I'm like, still get a little bit younger, even though the contract is ahead of a year, but it sort of balanced out. The Bears on the same side though, hey, you got to do what you got to do. I was like, look, there's the opportunity. You had to get rid of him. You had to do it because you basically gave him away for the same thing that Mac Jones went for. And I'm pretty sure you thought you were going to get a lot more than what Mac Jones would get. Even though I was like, Field probably still got more untapped potential, but Mac Jones had done a lot more playing time and not as I was like he at least had sort of won a little bit more than Fields. But you at least thought that the untapped potential might get you some more. But guess what? It really did. And you had to settle for the 6. You had to settle for what you want to do. And y'all are really lucky that the Steelers traded Pickett. Otherwise, y'all would have been in a really stuck, tricky, tough, gooey, whatever you want to say situation. Had it really was looking like you're going to have to draft Caleb and you're going to still have Fields. And then you're just sort of waiting until somebody gets hurt. Or one of these teams don't get a quarterback, and I kind of think that all these teams that's in the draft that need quarterbacks is going to actually get a quarterback. I'm not going to lie. I don't know they all get them in the first round, but I feel like every single one that we could think of is going to get a quarterback. I think the Raiders, we know the 3 at the top, probably so. I was like, they're the Broncos. You get what I'm saying? So they're hella lucky that transpired and happened, and at that point I was like, there was no haggling or trying to negotiate with Pittsburgh. You get what you get, and you just hope that is something, and it's not. But hey, now you got Caleb Williams. I was like, go out here and get a backup. I was like, I think they might still have old boy that played last year when Fields got hurt, that rookie. But do you want to keep another young person there? So I was like, maybe they don't. Maybe they're the ones that get Tannehill, a veteran out there or whatever, and we'll see how that goes. But hey, I like this for the Steelers. Bears, we'll see, because y'all doing all of these moves that y'all didn't do for Fields, but hey, y'all doing something, I guess. The trade, we'll see how that goes. But anyway, tell me how you process all of these things that has to do with the Steelers and Justin Fields. Well, how do you feel about Justin Fields in general, or because he's going to the Steelers, you feel a lot better about him in this situation? Anyway, till another thing that happens, because it's been a wild NFL offseason.